Welcome back to Around the Clock. I have my guest host with me for this interview, Steve Mitchell. Steve, thanks for being here.
Thank you for allowing me to join you this afternoon.
And then we have our second guest of the show. This is Phillip Williams. Phillip, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And Phillip, you're here sort of filling two roles. You are on a committee, Sustainability Committee, but you're also a town employee. So why don't you start with your role as an employee? What do you do, and what's your title, and what do you do for the town?
I am currently the energy manager for the town, which is a job that was funded out of a grant from the state through the Green Communities Fund. So I work in the town. I work on the Green Communities. There's a lot of regulations that we have to follow to meet that standard, and continually doing reports and things like that, but I'm also working on curriculum in the schools, working on ways to increase the way we are sustainable in the town. We're going to be procuring some solar vehicles, putting a charging station in one of the municipal lots, working on getting a composter so we can get all the organic waste out of the schools. There's a lot of different things that it encompasses. So every day there's something different that is involved with that. So. But I did start on the Sustainability Committee. That's how I even found out about the job. I was finishing up my master's degree in environmental science while I was on the Sustainability Committee, and then this grant got funded at that time, and it kind of just synced up exactly at the time that I was looking for a job, and it seemed kind of a perfect fit to be in town. And it also, part of the requirement of the job is to attend the Sustainability Committee meetings, so it just kind of all tied in together, kind of nice.
And because you're on the Sustainability Committee, you're also a resident of Ashland.
Yep, I'm a resident of Ashland. We moved here with my wife in 2005. We have now two little kids, one's 6 and one is going to be 2 in a couple of days. The older guy is in the Warren Elementary School and loving it, and my wife grew up here her entire life, so that's how we came upon Ashland.
Good, good. So sustainability, what are some of the projects that the Sustainability Committee is working on?
Well, they just completed the Ashland Solar Challenge, which was very successful, and we actually, so there was 6 tiers in that that increased the incentive and the rate for that the participants got as more homes signed on to that. So the highest tier was 6, and we achieved that. So everyone that signed up under that plan with Solar Flare, who's in town now as a solar provider, they're going to get the maximum benefit of the lowest rate. And then on top of that, one thing that the Sustainability Committee is going to be working on through that is that it qualified us to give a free system out to either a nonprofit or a deserving family, or possibly something to do in town. But we've qualified for a free system, so that's something the Sustainability Committee is working on now, is to figure out a way to come up with an application and figure out who would be the most deserving person or organization for that. Beyond that, we've worked on composting issues for the town. There's water conservation issues for the town. Obviously, solar is a very hot topic, so we're very involved in discussing those issues and offering opinions to any of the committees or departments or the Board of Selectmen that ask, what's the opinion. We have a lot of talented people on the committee, so.
I was going to ask you about that. The Sustainability Committee is really, it's got great expertise on it. I mean, you described your background with your master's degree, but you've got a host of people on with great expertise. Everybody's
very talented on the committee. We have an architect, another person that is a PhD in engineering, I believe. Matt Marshquist, who founded the committee and is now the vice chair. Very active in the town, and a lot of the people in the committee are also very active in getting the Ashland's Farmer Market started. So everybody really brings something to the table. And it's worth mentioning that we have an open spot and potentially going to have a second open spot. So if anyone's interested in joining the committee, we're always looking for more people to join the committee.
We did just bring your committee member number down, right? You were at 9 and you're down at 7.
Yeah, right, but I think we have one person that's dropping off, and we had somebody that resigned. So we need to pick up 1 and probably 2 in the future.
Right.
Okay. So they can fill out a talent bank form through the Selectman's office and let people know, and let us know that they're interested in becoming a member of the Sustainability Committee.
Right. Yep.
Great.
Yeah, great committee, and they evolved out of our experience becoming a green community. It's been several years now, and we've gotten, I think you described the grant program that's allowing us to buy some electric vehicles. Purchase that, and
That's a grant from the Mass DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection. There's like a bunch of different departments. They're all funding these things. So the Green Communities, we got a $250,000 grant from the Green Communities that is going towards street lighting. And that kind of got rolled up into the Amoresco project to buy down the cost of the
And
project.
this is the second round of Green Community Grant funding, right?
Right.
This is our
Yeah.
second grant. We
right,
had
the
an
first
initial
round
starting
was like
grant.
$160,000 that we started
Number of
with.
years ago.
Yes, and that was the fact that the enlarged check, I believe, is in Michael Herbert's office still. So, yes, so we've had a couple rounds of grants plus this additional program for the electric vehicles.
Yep, and then with that street lighting and the Amoresco project is going to really put us in a good position to reach the 20% energy reduction. I believe it's by 2017. That is 5 years from the baseline that you have to get to a 20% energy reduction. So that put us pretty well on track for that. So I expect that we'll make the standard.
Good. Any big ideas, any new things that you're trying to get people to get on board with? Either as sustainability committee or in your role as energy manager for the town?
Yes, and then they go hand in hand. I mean, I like I said, there's a lot of great people on the committee, so I always run things by people and think, what's the best way we can do things, especially with like composting. There was a couple of different options we had. We could have I contacted a farm in Medway that was going to come and pick up compost from us, and then we talked about maybe even building a facility in the town to people could bring their compost, and then came up with a third option of getting a commercial composter to put in the high school, and that seemed like to be the best idea. Like once I brought these options, and then I bring them to the committee, and we kind of all brainstorm together to get the best feedback, and that came out with to be the best option to pursue because you plug it in and it's pretty self-sustaining. You load it and unload it, and the time to make compost is 12 hours. And you have 250 pounds of waste from the cafeteria, so you could take all the waste from the high school, compost it, and have in 12 hours, and you're done. And you're not throwing that out in the trash anymore. We're not paying 250 pounds of freight to go out in the trash. But it really helps to have those people, 7 heads together rather than one, thinking about what's the best options.
And would that compost then be available, say, for the community gardens or other?
Well, that's what we're
farms in the
working
area?
to figure out what's the best way to do it. There's a grant opeing in April. I don't want to really give away the secret
That's
because I don't want all the other towns to go after that grant money. But we're going to figure out what the best way to dispose of that. Maybe it's something, the high school students could sell as a fundraiser as opposed to washing cars. I mean,
Right.
it's available, and we'll figure out the best way to use it. But, that's a good problem to have.
Thinking outside of the box.
That's
right.
That's
No.
what Ashland's doing lately.
Yep, it's terrific. We were, exploring a lot of great ideas for either increasing our revenue stream or just in terms of being gentler to the environment, certainly. So good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of
Really
them
good.
tie hand in hand. Usually when you do the math, there's a cost benefit to doing the right thing. So,
Right.
it's
Excellent.
always good.
Like your bow tie, too, by the way.
Thank you. I try and.
Well, Philip, before I let you go,
Yep.
there's a question I like to ask new guests that come to my show.
Okay.
It's not hard, don't
All
worry.
right.
The question is there something about yourself that you are willing to share that people in town may not know?
The people in town may not know. Let's see. I do wear a bow tie every day. What else?
Well, here's an easy one, and some people may know this. You're running for Board of Selectmen come
Yep.
this spring.
I'm running for, that's not too much of a secret. My campaign manager is very good about getting the word out on social media, hopefully. So I am running for Selectman. I participate in the town meetings and go to that, but I just feel like it's a hard thing for young families to be present and they want to participate, but it's hard. A lot of the meetings are at bedtime, and I just felt like I could do that and try and give somewhat of a voice to the young families in town. So that is my intent, is to run and hopefully win.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, well, terrific that you stepped up to give it a shot.
Yeah, and I mean, I would encourage anybody to participate in town. I mean, there's no better way to get involved in local government. That's where you have the most say of the things that happen in your life. So committees, town meeting, whatever you can do, it's, participate.
Good. Okay, Philip, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.